Hey guys, Megatron442 here. I've decided I'm going to start a new series called Storytime, and it's going to be great. I'm going to tell you stories about my life in the past. And this one is the 420, so I decided, hey, I'm going to tell you a creepy story. Yeah, there's the music. But anyways, I'm going to tell you a creepy story, and today is 420, the day when Phase began, and whatnot. The creepy music is completely random. It has nothing to do with what I'm talking about anymore. And it's Hitler's birthday. Happy birthday, Hitler. Sarcasm. Ignore the sample logo thing. Anyways. Oh, burritos are good. So I was with my boy, Leafy. Leafy is here, queer. Yeah, back in my hometown of Springfield, Missouri. Um, I remember it was Halloween night. I was coming home from school with Leafy, my boy Calvin, and it was Halloween, so I went to my house. We went to my house, and I made a costume, and we rode over on our bikes to his house, and he put his costume on, and whatnot, which was some like hoodie. We were doing some, I had a hockey mask that I cut up to make it look spooky, and yeah. So it was around 7. We're going around, we're gonna do pranks and we're gonna trick or treat at the same time, try to get some candy, try to mess with some people, me and Leafy just messing around. So it was about, yeah, we went to a few houses, nothing really special happened, just, some generic houses with a bunch of old ladies delivering, well, not delivering, giving us candy, because, candy, it's Halloween, why not give us candy? That would be weird, and that would mean you need to kill yourself. So, it was about 9, and our parents knew that we were out. They were totally aware. I didn't bring my phone, Calvin did, my boy Leafy, okay, it's not really Leafy, it doesn't take a genius to figure that out, but I bet you were thinking that. But anyways, he brought his phone, just in case, so we came around a corner and saw a cul-de-sac, and we saw a bunch of people going to the cul-de-sac. So, we went around there, and there was like a little bit like a sewage tunnel. Not a sewage tunnel, but like a tunnel that led to another part of the neighborhood. So we went down that tunnel, and nobody really goes down there. There are no lights or anything. It's just kind of like a tunnel. I guess it was for draining stuff. So I went down that tunnel with Calvin, my boy Calvin over there, messing around. He was playing with his Peter. We went on the other side of the tunnel was another part of the neighborhood, and it was a darker part of the neighborhood. There weren't many houses, but there was one, and it wasn't too far away from us. It was about up the hill, and we could easily walk there in about 3 minutes. We could see it because the way the hill was positioned, it was just straight uphill. So me and my boy Calvin were like, hey, let's go check out some of the houses before we go to that one. And we did. We didn't get many responses. We didn't get much candy. A few people opened up their doors and were like, here, have some candy, you little douche nozzles. And we got some stuff. There weren't many trick-or-treaters on the street. It was kind of barren and empty. And it was kind of weird. So we got to the house we were planning to go to, and we knocked on the door. Nobody opened the door. Nobody was there at the moment. So my boy Calvin started yelling, "Come on, bring out some candy, you hobo," or something like that, something of that sort. And no response. And then I started knocking on the door, and then he joined in. We're like, open up, we want some candy, we know you're home, and such. And then some old dude with like a beard and like a ponytail came out, and he's like, "What the fuck do you want?" And we're like, "Oh, just some candy, bruh." And the old man looked at us funny. He's like, "What are you talking about?" I'm like, "It's Halloween," and he says, "No, no, Halloween is the devil's worship or whatever, something stupid like that." And I was like, "Oh, okay." He's like, "Take off that mask." And Calvin was like, "What?" I was confused too. And then he repeated himself. He's like, "Take off that mask." I'm like, "No, sir. I'd rather go." And he's like, well, he told me to take off the mask again. And we slowly backed away from the house. And we started walking down the path again. He didn't follow us. We didn't see anybody following us. But, still pretty creepy. So we went back onto, like, the normal streets that, had more people on them and whatnot. Yeah. So we went into those areas and everything was fine. And then it was like 11 or so. So we had to go home. It was, I can't remember if it was school night, but we had to go home. It was like Calvin's home was closer than mine was, so I decided that I should just follow him home, and then I'd be able to go from his house to my house. And, everything went fine. We're pretty far away still, but not as far away as my house would be. So we went to his house, and it took us like 10 minutes or so. We got there, just the normal stuff, and we look at our candy and whatnot on his front porch before leaving, and we had like Reese's Pieces, well, not the small bags, the fun size bags, and we had Snickers and whatnot, all the good stuff. And then we saw somebody at the end of the road. And we didn't know who it was. We thought it was just another trick-or-treater, so he went inside, and I started walking home. Yeah, that was a bad decision. Only about a couple blocks from his house, I realized that man was following me. And you know who it was? Guess. It was the guy from before. Well, who wouldn't guess that? I mean, it's common sense. So you see somebody creepy, they're following you. I should have known that too, but I was only like 11 years old. So, I just kept on walking. I was like, okay, maybe this guy's just taking a stroll, and it's complete coincidence that this guy's following me. I kept walking. I wasn't too far away from my house. Maybe a few more minutes away, and I would have gotten there. A few more minutes away, and I would. No, that sentence is bullcrap. Anyways, the man caught up with me. I'm eating chips. When he stops me and starts yelling at me to take off the mask. I was super, super confused. We're in the middle of a street, and this guy was yelling at me for no reason. And this was about the time when all the trick-or-treaters were, going home and whatnot. He was yelling at me to take off the mask. He was like telling me I was satanic or whatever. I started getting pretty scared. I was freaking out. He's all up in my face. I didn't know what to do. So I just stood there. I was crying. 11-year-old me was crying because some dude was yelling at me. So I'm sitting there in tears, and this guy's yelling at me. And then all of a sudden, some lights flash over me. And it wasn't a car. It wasn't nothing like that. It wasn't street lights or whatever. It was a group of tall-looking teenagers. I was like the happiest mother trucker on the planet at that moment. I was so happy. So one of the people in the group, yelled at the top of their lungs, "What the hell are you doing?" I started backing away from the guy, and the group of teenagers was approaching him. It was so, before you know it, the teenagers are on top of this guy, beating the crap out of him. And I'm running home. I am running home. I'm sprinting down the street to get home. So I come in. Uh, I was pretty spooked. I had tears on my eyes. My grandma was really confused, and I told her I was fine. It was just I hit my knee or whatever. I lied, so it was alright. I poured my candy on the table, still pretty freaked out about what happened, and I ate some of the candy, and then I took a shower and went to bed. So the next day, me and my friend Calvin, I told him what happened. So I decided that me and him would check out the guy's house and see what was going on. And we were on our bikes, so we could get away quickly. And the people didn't know where we lived. So, and Calvin said he didn't have any problems with the guy. He didn't see him outside of his house or whatever. So, you know, we thought everything was okay. So we went over to the creepy man's house, and we knocked on the door, and we had our bikes, and we were ready to go if they came out. But nobody answered the door. Knocked on the door again, and nobody answered the door. And then some lady passes by, and she says, "What are you two doing? Nobody lives at that house." I'm like, me and Calvin were so freaked out. It was the creepiest thing that had ever happened to us in our life. Well, me. Not much happened to him, so that was weird. Well, rate, subscribe, leave a comment. If you want me to do more of these story times, and I probably will, just leave a comment, like it, and I'll see you next time. Bye. And also, I will be only using Minecraft footage for this because I want it to be like I'm gonna use the same world, and every story I tell, I'm gonna build something in the world, and then when the series ends, we're gonna see my world and we're gonna explore it, and and I'll show you what I've made and whatnot. It'll be pretty cool. So rate, subscribe, leave a comment. Add me Steam, stock me Google Plus, and yeah.